Okay, to me, enumeration means discovery, discovering the environment, discovering risks, weaknesses, strengths, which because they can expose potential ingress points. From an offensive position, that gives you your ingress point, but from a defensive position, that helps you understand your own environment so you can understand weaknesses and you can take actions to either remediate or mitigate those risks. And enumeration is more than just ports, it's more than just protocols. It includes devices, it includes software inventory, it includes protocols being used. Even it could extend to your commonly used external websites and services, or and it also includes things such as your directory, who are your users, what is your username credential, and if you're going into the social engineering, enumeration could also include what are your users' habits? How do they ingress, egress a building? What sort of identity do they use? What are some of the customs and norms, if you like, within an organization? Something which could be manipulated by social engineering type attack. Be broad in focus. I mean, you need to be narrow in focus while you're conducting a particular activity in your enumeration quest to identify weaknesses or vulnerabilities, but don't be too narrow. Don't constrain yourself necessarily to a particular IP address or a particular device type. You may, when you're drilling down and looking for a particular risk or something in the environment, but be broad. Don't be scared to go outside of something. What you may find is a faulty ACL, which means that you know of a network range, but there's something extra internal which hasn't been controlled properly. There's often it's the unknown to the organization which poses the greatest risk. So be willing to look for those things which aren't expected. And as a general rule is what I found to be quite successful. Before I knew it was a big word, but I didn't really know what it meant. Um, what I have come to consider the art of enumerating an environment to mean to me is looking for risk, looking for vulnerability, no matter where it may lie. And that includes, but it's not just risk, it's also just knowledge because you can put these pieces together and build a picture. So what I used to consider safe data, so basic directory data, username, password, or not username, password, sorry, username, uh, username structure, and also password structure, so basic password rules and the like, can constitute on their own, don't mean a lot, but you can put those pieces together and build a working picture of a better way to penetrate an environment. Anyone in the security organization or compliance organization needs to understand this. Compliance from the fact that they're the ones that often set the guidelines and policies which the security organization have to follow. So that's in username, concordance, and those sorts of pieces of information. They help you determine or govern what's considered sensitive and how it's shared externally and controlled by policy. On the security organization, one needs to understand the risk, and that translates into oversight or interface, if you like, with your engineering or infrastructure side of the organization to ensure that data is protected in the appropriate manner, that the configurations are correct, that you minimize the surface from which data can be gleaned or enumerated from an organization that could build that picture of potential ingress into the or pose a risk, whichever you consider. From a defensive position, regular enumeration of your environment. Now, this could constitute things such as regular updates to your software and device inventory, regular vulnerability scans, so you understand what's in there, what's being used and how it's being used, as well as assessing your vulnerabilities. Agent-based scans or credentialized scans can be extremely powerful tools. However, uncredentialed scans give you a better picture and can assist in that triage of remediation, if you like, from the view that an attacker would have of your environment. But the big thing that I can say is regularly reassess and seek out weaknesses and vulnerabilities or patterns inside your environment so you can better protect against those bad actors that may be coming in or already in your environment.